All right. Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to stream. You're stuck with me. You are epic, Quinn. You're all stuck with me. Stuck with me. This is day 2 of Jessie 3 stream streak. That I forgot that I was doing, I guess. I forgot I was doing 3 streams in a row. Hello, everybody. Yeah, no worries, Quinn. Glad to see you in it all. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing epic. We're doing pretty sick. I'm not gonna work. What are we doing this stream? Excellent question. As the stream title says, it is the limited palette challenge. So we will be working on a limited color palette. I'm pretty sure, I'm just gonna double check what won the poll, because if I'm wrong, then I'll have to go back and, like, change the reference that I have up. I don't remember. It is. That's the one that won. I kind of wish that number 2 won, but that's okay. So, you guys decided to vote for which, Wowee! Hi, Iggy! Iggy in chat, everybody point! At the Warforged, you bet it is. We are drawing Lani today. Because I was sad I didn't get to draw her yesterday. But yes, you all voted for what palette we are going to be working with. It's going to be this one. So we are going to be I knew this one was going to win too. I was like, oh, I'm going to pick something like pastel with like pink and blue, and that's what's going to win. And I was like, I'm right. I knew I was going to be right. I have a good one, Quinn. So we will only be allowed to work in these 5 colors today. Knowing me, I'll probably be able to get like 2 or 3 of these pieces done, but we'll see what happens because limited palette challenges are super easy for me. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Ice palette, I voted for that one. It's the one that I think I was like, I know that one's gonna win because it's like the most like aesthetic one, I think, out of all of them. I wish it was number 2 that won because I am a very big fan of like more eclectic colors. I think that those very big, like almost 60s brights were really fun. They kind of gave me mid-century modern. So I was like, I kind of wanted those to win, but that's okay. We are going with these bad boys today. So that is what we are going to be working with. But before we begin, if you didn't know, our growing community is filled with tons of art nerds, and we art nerds have to stick together. So if you're an art nerd too, be sure to check the links to our social media in the description below, and check out our website for our class offerings where you can get critique, guidance, and encouragement from our instructors, because we're not just a YouTube channel, we are a school of illustration. I also want to personally thank our incredible Patreon and YouTube members who support us in making free art education content. Members get access to tons of perks like exclusive chats with our creators, weekly live critiques on Discord, class recordings, digital art working files from our streams, and discounts on live programs that have a limited amount of spots. So if you want to help support the channel or accelerate your learning, consider becoming a member. Cool and epic. Cool and epic. But before we get to the illustration portion, one last thing. We have the submission! It's art submissions time. Woo! Yippee! Hooray! If you're wondering how you can submit your work to be shown up at the beginning of stream, you're gonna have to join our Discord. You're gonna have to submit stuff for the monthly challenges. This month is all about expressions. It is genuinely called, like, it's Show Me the Emotion, which is all about showing off emotional pieces or just artwork that shows off emotion within them. So a lot of people did expression sheets, a lot of people did more emotional, more, a lot of sad pieces. I looked through and I'm like, there's so much crying! But this first submission is from Droll Fox. I love the animal expressions. I'm a huge fan of that poor owl in the top right, and I know exactly what image you referenced as well. I think owls are a lot of fun. A weird piece of advice that I got once was somebody was like, what's like a good piece of like advice for like drawing expressions? And somebody was like, you want to know what my exercise is? I take like funny pictures of birds and try to translate that into people. And I did that exercise once, and it was a lot of fun, actually. So, I highly recommend it. This is a really, really fun piece. Well done. Thank you so much for submitting. Next one is by Emmy in the Discord. I believe they were saying that this is like a character that they're gonna have in like a game that they're creating, which is like, this is such a game character. I can so see this in like a looping animation. He's like bouncing up and down. He's like, what can I get for you? Kind of thing. This is so hype. I love this. He's so cute. He reminds me of, in my D&D campaign right now, we have a black cat wizard. His name is Scribbles. Similar vibe. I love this guy. Thank you so much for submitting. Yeah, oh, 100%. You see the tip flowing all wavy? 100%. Thank you so much for submitting. Next piece is by Lilium in the Discord. I love it when I start to see, like, artists and they start to experiment a lot with eyes. They start to go a little crazy when drawing eyes. And it's like, you can always tell what part of the body is an artist's favorite to draw because of, like, how, like, it's either more rendered, it's more clean, it's more detailed, like, there's always something that'll tell you, like, what is the favorite part of the body for an artist to draw. And it is very frequently, like, whenever I look at character artists, it's very frequently eyes, hair, just the face in general tend to be, like, a very commonplace. So I love it when artists start to, like, get a little wonky with eyes, because I think that you can get some pretty funky stuff with eyes, I think. Thank you so much for submitting. This next one is by Rico Manin. They had two. I'm so sorry. I'm covering up here. I'm gonna just boop just for a second. I'm covering up this poor last little expression on the bottom. Here, I'll put myself back. But they had two of these little expression sheets. Super cute. I have something similar for corn. But I love this. This is super, super cute. What a little guy. I'd bounce him like a basketball. He's very silly. He reminds me of a character that I think would show up on, Something's House for Imaginary Friends. I can't remember the name. Something House for Imaginary Friends. People my age, you'll know. Something like that. Please tell me the name. I can't remember. Foster's Home! Thank you! Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. That's it. Thank you! Yeah, it feels like one of those characters. You know what I mean? It feels like a character that would show up on that. It's Eduardo, kinda. But yeah, no, this is super, super cute. Love this. Well done. Thank you so much for submitting. Last but not least, we've got Turtle. Traditional art pog. This goes crazy. I am so excited to see this finished because they said when they submitted this, they're like, is it okay if I post whips? And of course it's okay if you post a whip. I'm really, here's one of my secrets. I'm really bad at likeness. If I want to illustrate a person and I want to do it realistically, likeness is my weakest skill, which is really obnoxious because I am pretty good with likeness if I try to do them like cartooned, but if I try to do something more realistic, likeness is something I'm not good at. Which, by the way, for those who don't know, likeness is trying to capture, like, draw somebody and make them look like that person. I find that I'm actually quite bad at that, if I'm trying to do it realistically. So this is phenomenal. Love that. This is gonna be so awesome when you finish it. I am so excited for you, because this is super cool. Alright, thank you all so much for submitting once more. Again, if you want to see your work later down the line in one of these streams, hey, join the Discord, submit for whatever the monthly theme is. And remember, you've only got the month of August for Show Me the Emotion. The theme will change once we hit September, so we can refresh that each and every time. So yeah, come by the Discord, come say hi, come hang out, come vibe with us. Let's go. Alright, back to the illustration portion. So today what we are doing, again, is a limited palette challenge. Now, last time that I did something that was like, we're gonna do a challenge, and the people showed up midway through, and they were always like, it was like, I started, like, drawing, and they were like, it was like a lineless challenge, and I needed to sketch out what I was drawing first before, you know, I got to the lineless part. But then people were like, I thought this was lineless. Why are you using lines? It's a sketch. You're in the sketch portion. So I bet if I don't use the colors that are on screen right now exclusively, including for sketch, people are gonna come in. They're gonna be like, I thought this was gonna be limited palette challenge. Why is the palette is up there? Why are you using black? That doesn't count. So we're also gonna be doing the sketch in the limited colors because I don't want to deal with like 70 people coming in and being like, why aren't you using the correct color? Obnoxious. Hello Scarecrow! Point at him! Point at Scarecrow Sketch! Say that he's perceived! He's being perceived! They're being perceived! Point at Scarecrow Sketch and say perceived! It's giving why aren't they wearing clothes? Point. Point at him. How are you doing? 24 stealth check, you cannot see me. Then how'd I read it? How'd I read that, huh? You know what we're gonna do, actually? We're gonna do, so that I don't have to have this up at all times, we are going to very quickly do this, because it's very easy to just get the palette in here. Let's lock that. And this is how we're gonna do this. We're gonna cut off part of this down here. We'll fix this spacing, because this is not good. Also, I should be using a hard round, because this brush is a little bit slow. There we go. How am I doing? Is the weather nice? It's been raining today, which is, like, not that bad. You know, I like the rain, so I'm not complaining too hard about that. Just making sure the doodle isn't gonna get cropped. Okay, cool. Oh no, I should keep this down here, so then I give myself like this square, and then I'm going to... There we go! Beautiful, wonderful, epic. Okay. So this is the... This is the palette. So I don't have to keep this thing up in the corner the whole time, and I can just refer down to the bottom. I'll roll to hide using one drive. 6 and a 4. I think I'll take the 6. Is that Lani? Yeah! I'm drawing Lani today. So much epicness today. I mean, there's so much epicness going on at all times. Yeah, it's Lani today. Because yesterday, the poll was for, like, which character I was going to draw. And there were a lot of disappointed people that I wasn't going to be drawing my Warforged. So, I'm like, I'll draw my Warforged today. Just for you guys. 28 health check. You can't roll with Pierce, you have to roll with your own stats. Yippee! Hooray! Yeah, so Lani's my Warforged. I'll get to play her at some point. Which unfortunately means I actually can't talk about her much. You guys just get to see what she looks like, that's all. You can ask very baseline questions about her, but I can't actually talk too much about her backstory at all. You guys are lucky because Korn's whole backstory has been revealed. I've been playing him for a very long time, but I haven't even gotten to play Lani yet, so... I rolled a 9, no! Following along with your traditionally paper and pencil. So cool, so cool, so epic! She have water powers? No. She's a bard. I actually want to draw her from the front. So the trick with a limited palette challenge is you need to not focus necessarily on the colors, you're focusing on the values. And in this case, we have something with... You have to identify what has your lightest value and what has your darkest value. And then you essentially organize them in your head based on that. Right, so you organize them from, like, darkest to lightest value in your brain, and you're like, okay, so instead of thinking of these as like this is 2 different turquoises, 2 different pinks, and a yellow, I'm looking at it instead like, whoops, like this. Right? This is my darkest gray. And then these 2 grays are pretty similar, but this is my second darkest gray. And then third darkest gray, fourth, and then second lightest, and then lightest. right? So that is what I'm thinking of instead. So and then that way we create something that kind of feels cohesive and comprehensive. What instrument does she play? None! She sings! She sings and dances. Her voice is her instrument. Yeah, she's a Vocaloid. She's like a Vocaloid because she's a robot. How good is she at singing? Do you like Hatsune Miku? She was a bard? Yeah, she's a bard. No, I had a voice kind of picked out for her, like what I imagine her singing voice to kind of sound like. I can give you guys a couple of songs. If you have ever heard, Welcome to the Opera featuring Grimes by Enima, that's one pretty good example. Unfold by Porter Robinson is another good option for what her voice probably sounds like. I keep failing at arms no matter how hard you try to teach me, I just can't. Well, there's your first mistake, is that you keep telling yourself that you can't. You know what you need to tell yourself? It's not that bad. I just gotta try again. The more that you tell yourself that you can't do something, the more true it's gonna become, you know? That's called psychology. Hi, Colfer. Hope you're doing well. Sega! Sega! I was like, wait, Sega? Like, no, I know what you're saying. Like, oh no, no. Hatsune Miku does not talk to British people. Sega! That's funny, because I imagine I'm gonna play her with an English accent. I'm starting digital art. Is it better to have the tablet flat or at an angle? Depends. Especially if you have no screen, try working with it flat. If you have a screen, the flatter the better because of wrist health, but sometimes you just can't, like, avoid it. Hatsune Miku will not talk to your character then. Joke's on you, my character is essentially Hatsune Miku. Lani is short for Etalon, those who know that person. Etalon is a doll YouTuber. She's named after her because Lani is meant to look like a doll. So, like, she has very doll-esque proportions, very long and thin. All of her joints are shown, stuff like that. She's meant to be like she's meant to look like a porcelain doll, but she's a warforged, and so technically she's a robot. She's just a robot that happens to look like a doll. And that's how she was built. Long necky, yeah. She's a very long neck. Her proportions are specifically based on Popovi sister BJDs, if you want to look it up. Popovi sisters? The Popovi sisters BJDs. They're really fun. I like them a lot. It's one of those things where, like, if I draw out, like, her full body proportions, the way that she's meant to sort of look is, like, dolls have very purposefully exaggerated body parts and limbs and stuff like that. And realistically, if we analyze them like crazy, we're like, oh, that's not very realistic. That doesn't look great. But if you don't really think about it that much, it doesn't look that bad. Because you're not really thinking about that. Like, her proportions are kind of like this. I can't talk about her that much. I haven't played her yet. So, like, there's a lot of secrets about her and stuff like that that I can't really reveal just yet. Secrets and just general things about her character that I can't really talk about just because, like, the actual players don't know these things either. And one of them just popped in to come say hi, so, like, I can't just talk about her, unfortunately. But, like, like with the rest of my characters, every design aspect about her is intentional. It's that kind of thing where I am like, I have chosen her to look this way for a reason. I'm not hearing you are. Possibly things you don't even know about her yet. Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, I have explicitly told my DM, I'm like, hey, so these are things that I want to happen. I don't know why though. So like, you can figure that out. You can, that's up to you. That kind of thing. Which I enjoy a lot. Tolerable arm, I'm definitely am happy with it. Well, don't lie to yourself. You take a look at what you do. You go, okay, well, this doesn't quite look right. Let me analyze it and try to figure out what's wrong. Right? And a big thing about art is being able to self-critique if you don't have somebody there to critique it for you. Right? Even line art is colored. Yeah, no, I'm not... When I say limited palette challenge, I mean I am not allowed to use any other color. Is my thing. And that includes the line art. Let me show you. So, when I do limited palette challenges, I've done a bunch for, like, classes and whatnot. Exclamation point classes, by the way. Summer camp. Sydney, the legit illustration? You bet it is. I was able to do, like, 3 in one class just because of, like, how short of amount of time these take me. But yeah, no. It does not take me long to do these limited palette things at all. Like, they're very, very simple. And, like, I am making it just slightly harder by using, like, varied line work. Thank you. Corn spotted. Yeah, man. He's so cute. That's Corn's party. That was Corn's whole party. That was Corn's party like at the beginning of campaign. That is not what Corn's party looks like now, because 2 of those characters are no longer with us. But yeah, that was what Corn's party looked like. Oh. Yeah, Pierce died. No, Pierce is... Well, okay. He did die, but we brought him back. One of the party members became the BBEG. The other one, he just died. He did just die. But as per the player's request, though, so then we could bring in his daughter. So instead of Soren, we have Quinn, and instead of, Lunan, we have Moya. What does her voice sound like? Ethelon? I'm not bold enough to do her voice yet. I'm not bold enough to do her voice on command yet. I don't know if I'm comfortable enough with that. Maybe I should try the limited palette challenge, since I'm not always the best with colors for the time being anyways. Sure, yeah, you could totally try it. I will say limited color, this palette challenge does not help with color. It helps with value. It's one of those things where it's like, the colors that you pick don't necessarily matter. It's how you work with them. And in this case, I'm trying to focus on values more than I am trying to focus on the colors themselves. Which is why, in the end, it didn't matter which colors you guys picked, because all of them had the same value structure. I'm sorry, I lied to every single one of you. I picked palettes that had the same value structure, and that was what mattered the most. Working Grayscale's fun too, you bet. Need to work on value too anyways. It's a win-win anyways. Who are you calling sucker, Bread Panda? Nobody's the sucker here. We're working on things together. You get to work on things, and I get to work on things. No need to be rude. Oh. Have a good time, Iggy. Have a good one at the gym. Three colors isn't that bad. Here's the thing with a 3-color limited palette challenge, right? You have to do that in post-secondary, except they're all grays. Especially if you're in some kind of industry art, one of very common exercise that your profs will probably get you to do is like, okay, you're gonna like do a screenshot study, but you're gonna have to redraw this using only 3 grays. 1 light gray, 1 mid-toned gray, and 1 dark gray. And that's it. And that's what you have to do. And that's like a very, very common exercise that most people have to do in post-secondary at least once. And it's not that bad, honestly. It's a way for you to be able to understand how important values are, and like how important it is to not rely on color and not rely on the fact that you have the whole like rainbow at your fingertips, and instead look at color instead as a bunch of values. This is helpful to me because I have a black to light gray gradient of thread to use on embroidery. I have no idea how to use them. Well, embroideries, I don't know how to work with embroidery. Be super honest. I mean, I know how to work with color. I'm not good at embroidery. I tried doing it by hand at one point, and I was like, well, 20 minutes of this, I'm good. Because I am impatient. The key to getting faster at art. Being impatient? I mean, it helped me. That's why I could never be an animator. I'm not patient enough to be an animator. I'll do something a little more complicated after this one, because I'm like, this is my warm-up. I'm like, I can do multiple of these. I don't need to... I don't need to worry about most of this. The thing with Ethelon specifically, her colors are very, like, she is meant to kind of look like a doll that came straight out of the factory. No paint, nothing. Like, she's meant to kind of look like a doll that hasn't been painted yet. So her palette is very one note, actually. Like, if I could show you what her, like, normal colors look like. Am I fried? There we go. You see? It's like she's very, like... she's very, like fair-toned. It's like her hair isn't even dyed. Like, without this, like, blue undertone, this, like, white of her hair and white of her skin are, like, almost imperceivably different. Like, it's... And without, like, the blush either. She's actually very difficult to color. Like, incredibly different. Are incredibly difficult to color. Sorry, not incredibly different. There is no incredibly different colors about her. I was gonna have these two be different values, but like it's actually too different. Like this like pink to yellow is their values are too different. So I'm like, I'm actually not gonna do that. She's gonna be all this yellow instead, and then I'll use the pink as her inner hair highlight difference, because that actually will look a little bit closer to what she looks like. I'm scared of mannequins. I think mannequins in horror are great. Hi, Novada. How are you doing? So I was sitting here and thinking to myself, what if a nutcracker was a centaur and lives in a cold climate, but his joints lock up? Hey man, you could do it. You have that power. That's something that you could draw. I'd scream if I saw one. How do you live going to stores? Do you not shop for clothes? How about you? I'm also surviving. I am very tired. So I was curious why my drawings are looking very bright. I tried shading using complementary colors, it still doesn't work. Well, don't use the straight complementary color. If you are, say, using... like, if you... and not the complementary color of the colors you're using. Complementary color of the light, first of all. But second of all, if you are coloring something and they're looking flat, make sure that you have the correct layer style. Make sure that you have the correct, like... you're checking for a light source, and remember, it's not only shading, you have to worry about your lighting as well. Are there highlights? Are there extra shadows? Stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of things to consider. Watch this. Halftones. Look at that. Isn't that fun? I start with the pink, then I go in with the blue. They're not being blended together, they're halftones. So they're little dots instead. Pretty nifty. Cool trick. Yippee, Lani! Hi, Ray, how are you? Hope you're doing well. So clever, very cool, and very epic. I'm gonna do the same thing with the bottom lip here, because I don't want this pink to be too intense. I want it to be there, but like kind of not there, you know? For the bottom lip, but then the upper lip is gonna be more intense. Oh. Whoops. What brush is that? Which one? Which one? Vibing, sent in work application to somewhere we've been to. I'll tell you more later. Alright! Buggers! I patiently await. Oh, the halftone one. You answered it! It's a halftone brush. It's genuinely just a halftone brush. I'm pretty sure that one specifically is from True Grit Supply. You can get halftone brushes anywhere. They are not a difficult find. Now, some of these inner lines I want to be a little bit different, so I'm going to color them just to give some difference in her visually. So then this feels like skin, and then the hair, we're going to use a different thing. The hair, we're going to use some of this magic. And then it feels a little bit different here instead. See? And now it looks a little bit snowy. Isn't that fun? And these inner lines don't feel as crazy. And again, I can even do like a fun thing where it's like it's almost a gradient. Again, because of halftones. So I can do that instead. And they almost look like striped lines. Isn't that neat? Cool beans. There's one! Yeah, I am like, I don't find these too, like, crazy. Let me just do some, like, fun things. I'll do a couple with her. And we'll do one where you can get her full body as well. We'll just do some of, like, yippee. Actually, I don't want that. I'll just... Did I miss anything? You missed the whole first illustration. Don't worry, we're doing several. Limited palette challenges are not difficult for me, so... We're gonna do several. We're gonna do a couple with this palette, and then maybe I'll pick the second most, which was the one I wished won. But, we'll see what happens with this one. This is number 1. Cool. Let's run it again! We'll do a different background color as well. So let's do this magic. And let's do it again. 2. Yippee! I don't want to go to the store anymore because people who dressed as the mannequins still give me the scares. It's not even the 31st yet. The people who dressed as the mannequins still give me the scares, and it's not even 31st yet. But mannequins are, like, always in stores. Like, always. They're always there. Do you not like any of the mannequins? Like, even if you went to, like, an American Eagle, and, like, even if you went into, like, a Walmart, and there are, like, a couple of mannequins there with, like, the tank tops and the cargo pants. Like, that's not, this isn't me judging. This is, like, a genuine question. I'm curious. I'm like, are you, like, can you genuinely not go into, like, if a Walmart had mannequins, and you saw one, you're like, nope, I gotta turn around. They dressed themselves as one and said while screaming 10.99. Oh, like a... Wait, wait. So are you scared of actual mannequins, or are you scared of, like, the mannequin costume? Are you scared of morph suits? Is that what it is? Like a morph suit? Yeah, like, not making the mannequin scary. Like, if the mannequin was just, like, the most normal mannequin you'd ever seen in your life. Like, if you walked into, again, like, you walked into a Walmart and it was in, like, a tank top and cargo pants. Would that still be, like, spooky, like, freaky deaky to you? Would that be, like, nuts? I looked at the Corn expressions from yesterday's stream. I genuinely did not know he was that muscular all the time. Oh yeah! No, Corn's a barbarian, so he's gotta be. He's got a 22 strength. It's his highest stat. Corn is strong. Corn is a very, very muscular boy. I'm good on that. I hate it when people intentionally dress as one. So you're scared of mannequin costumes. Okay. So like you would not be good at, like, you would not be good with, like, people who were, like, in morph suits and were, like, walking around. Yeah. I get you. Okay. That makes more sense. I was like, okay, if you can't walk into the store and, like, with normal mannequins, that's a little nuts. I'm so sorry if that was the case. I'm too familiar with Corn, and the other one at the the other times I saw him wearing hoodies. Yeah, Corn is very, very buff. To be fair, the stomach area, like where the abs would be, Like, even if he didn't have abs, they would have the same thing because they're belly scales. But they are meant to mimic the look of, like, abs. The mannequin costume, I get why it'd be creepy. Oh, of course. I mean, like, mannequins are a very, very popular horror subject. I love horror. Mannequins are pretty cool. I prefer just normal dolls. Like, that tends to be, like, my thing. Mannequins in Silent Hill are the best. Guys, you know what today is? It's the 10th anniversary of PT Silent Hill, which is the biggest, like, we were robbed of all time. The biggest we were robbed, like, of all time. The fact that that game never came out. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to that game, for real. We could have had it all. We could have had a Hideo Kojima, Guillermo del Toro collaboration, but no. The game was too scary. It wasn't ready for us. And you know what? For that game coming out in 2014, it looks awesome. Like, it holds up today. Like, it's one of those games where it's like, you look at it, and, like, those graphics look like they would have come out today. Like, they are awesome. Those are some good graphics. Lani's proportions are very complicated. She is one of those things where it's like, drawing her is deceptively easy, because she is a very simple looking character, but her proportions are incredibly complicated just because of, like, how long they all are. You will not draw her the same way you will draw a normal person, because she has a lot of, like, interlocking and moving parts that you need to treat as if they are doll parts. So she's a very, very long, sort of spindly body that is really, really complicated to work with. So she is a deceptively simple to draw character. It's like, oh yeah, she's, like, really easy. But no, if you draw her proportions properly, you're not doing her right. Because that is not what her proportions look like. She is meant to be very, very long and spindly and, like, kind of difficult to get the hang of. Her legs. Yeah, she's a doll. She's a Warforged. In D&D, a Warforged is a robot. They're robots. So she is a robot. She's incredibly difficult to draw. What's her personality? She's very sweet. She's the kind of, like, person who's just really excited to be here. Like, she hasn't done a lot, so she's like, I want to try new things all the time. It's like, oh, let's go to this place. It's like, it's just a junkyard. Yeah, but I've never been to one of those before, so, like, I want to do that. She's very bubbly. She wants to try and be nice to people. She's just a very kind of excited person. It's my siblings' art style. All their characters are very long and spindly. Yeah, it's fun. It's very fun to draw. It's just complicated is all. It is just fairly complicated. If you are doing it intentionally. Like, that is the one thing that I'm very grateful to D&D for, is that D&D, like, kicked my same face syndrome in the butt. Like, it was suddenly, like, I needed to learn how to do so many different proportions and so many different kinds of faces that it suddenly became impossible to have two people look exactly the same. Like, this is what Lani looks like, right? If I show you what Ethelon looks like, right? This is what she looks like. I am designing another character right now. Their name is Jar. And like you can tell like the difference in like you are not drawing the same person twice. Like it is like drawing D&D characters, and then we all know what Corn looks like, right? She's cool. Jar is they it, if you want their pronouns. They it. Jar does not feel like a person, so they're just like and they are just a human. They just so happen to have slightly pointed ears. That's why these ears are so tiny, because they're just a person. Oh yeah, Delicious in Dungeon? Oh yeah. D&D. For those who love Dungeon Meshi, Delicious in Dungeon, it's just D&D. Which I think is awesome. I was like, what? That's so fun! Is this a character you made? You can just call me Jessie. You don't need to... No formalities necessary. Yes, this is my character. This is Jar. I'll be playing as Jar this coming Thursday, so I'm very excited to play as them. Jar. Their name is Nightjar. Nightjar, like the bird. Jar is really cool because I wrote them to have no backstory at all. Because they woke up one day and they didn't know who they were. They call themselves Nightjar because that's the only thing they remembered. But then they opened a bar and they can trade, and they're willing to let you pay for things with stories because they love getting stories. They have a bar, which was named by my lovely partner. It's called the Salted Rim, which is the coolest name for a bar ever, by the way. Couldn't stop thinking about D&D while watching Dungeon Meshi. Oh, 100%! Nightjar, yeah! Oh, the concept. Yeah! So, Nightjar is really fun. I love them so much. They're gonna be so fun to play as. They're a bit weird. They're not technically a D&D character. They are a tabletop character. We're gonna be playing Candela Obscura. Which I believe was co-made by Brendan Lee Mulligan. I could be super wrong, though. No, that's not right. It was made by, oh, what's their name? They're from... Lord help me. I don't know if Ray's still here. Taliesin Jaff, I think, was who made Candela Obscura. I think that's it. Oh, did I make this female? Yes, Lani I did make. These are both my characters. Nightjar and Ethelon are both my characters, yes. Ethelon, I get to play her soon as well, but I don't have an exact date for when I'll get to play as her. Jar is the person that walks into a random house barbecue and everyone's fine with it. That is actually super accurate. Jar, I wrote to be the person that everybody knows. It's just like, oh, you need this thing? Just go talk to Nightjar. They know what's up. It'll have something for you. Like, it's like they will know everybody. And it's like, they know everybody. They're a little eccentric, but like nobody hates them. They're just kind of this weird guy that everybody just so happens to kind of know. They're weird, but they're nice, so nobody complains. Piercing should I give my character? Nose piercing. I'm so excited. The bar name being the Salted Rim is the coolest name ever. I was like, we were talking about it last night because I hadn't named Jar's Bar yet, and I was like, oh, what do I name this place? And my partner was like, what about the Salted Rim? Because like it's like a martini's glass is like the Salted Rim, and we're part of like we're like paranormal investigators, so it's like, you know, a ring of salt is like something that keeps ghosts away. I was like, that is the most hype name ever. I'm taking that. We're keeping that, because that is the coolest name ever. It's so cool. It's such a... keeping that. No, 100% I'm keeping it. Like, When I went to do, like, Jar's, like, concepts, I was, like... Where is it? I was sketching them out, right? This is how I like plan characters. I always start with the hair, and then it's like I do the face first, and then I start with the hair, and then I get into, like, the outfits and whatnot. And, like, while working on, like, the body type and then, like, the hair and whatever, you can see right here, it's like I just wrote it down, because I'm like, I need to remember this. This is the coolest name for a bar ever. I was like, I'm keeping that. We are keeping that, because that's so much fun. The MC of Cheers? Who? What are we talking about? How do you pick the colors for the limited palette? Like, I usually just make a monochromatic palette, but I want to include other hues. I'm just bad at that. I went to Adobe Color. I went to color.adobe.com, and then I scrolled. And I just went through, and I went to view, I went to all, and I was like, which one of these looks good? But I usually picked them in a way where they had a high amount of contrast. So this was another palette I was thinking of. I was like, I need something that's really light, really dark, and then like 3 hues that are in between. So I was like, okay, that's pretty good. But I'm like, I didn't want too many monochromatic ones. We have videos, Amumu, we have videos on, we just did a stream on Chevrolet's rule of color interaction, I believe, but we have past videos of actual color palettes. That's like, I think the videos are called, like, Kevin, can you find it? It's those videos that are like advanced color palettes or just color palettes. Like, we have 2, because there's one that's just for normal color palettes, and then one where I add on like 4 extra. Like, here are the more advanced ones, and those are some pretty good ones. Critical Role created Candela Obscura with one of the gameplay. Yeah, like, I know it was Crit Role. I'm pretty sure it was Taliesin specifically that made it, though, right? Like, I'm pretty sure it was, like, Taliesin specifically that worked on it with, like, another game maker. I could be super wrong. There it is. Thank you. Picking colors and then 10 color schemes. I appreciate you. Because I did not know where it would be. I was originally gonna give her sneakers, but I'm like, you know what? For this outfit, she would have sandals of some kind. I could just do closed-toe sandals. I don't have to draw the toes, because I don't want to draw toes. I'll give her ballet flats. I'm like, I don't feel like drawing that right now. Real? Oh, Spencer Stark and Rowan Hall. During to press out of the Critical's publishing company. Ah, okay, okay. Have you ever played a game so bad you left midway? Like D&D? No. Because I, like, only play with my friends. And my friends are always the DMs, and my friends are very creative, and they create some of the coolest things ever. So I've never been to that. Like, the campaign that I'm in with Korn, those monsters are undefeated. My DMK... Oh, I love those monsters. They're so good. They're so weird and creepy, and I love them so much. He recently had me design a dragon that we fought. Y'all want to see it? Oh, video game? Also no. I'm pretty picky with my games, so I make sure that, like, I try and, like, do those in a way where I'm, like, I try to pick my games in a way where I'm, like, I will probably like this. Alright, let's take a look. Where did I put this? D&D, Taldore, examples, or extra. La Critura, there he is. I had so much fun drawing this guy. So he was meant to be this like dragon that had been genetically modified. And instead of having eyes, they had 6 heads. And 3 of the heads had one giant eye. And like there was like the eyelids were like the lips of the mouth. And then the other 3 had no eyes on top of the head. But the tongue would split off and had eyes at the tips like they were like stalks. It was so cool. How long did this take? 2-3 hours, something like that. I think it was a lot of back and forthing. 2-3 hours? I feel like it would have been shorter than that. Let me double check how long this would have taken. Search has image. Oh, there's so many links. Hang on. I'll get like a proper timeline for you. 12 a.m. to... Okay, hour 30. 2 hours. It took 2 hours. This whole thing took 2 hours. Scream at that. It was fun. No, I love designing monsters, and it's like, I love drawing monsters so much. He did a great job coming up with the concept. Yeah, DM stands for Dungeon Master. Yeah, it took about 2 hours. Once again, we're going in with our darkest hue here to do our lines. The non-Dungeons & Dragons version is Game Master. Oh, I didn't know that. How tall is she? 6 feet tall. She is 6 feet tall. Have I at least heard of Fear and Hunger? No, I have not. I have been playing Outer Wilds lately, and I'm pretty sure I'm at the last step of the game. And the biggest problem, like, no spoilers, because I should not, if you're gonna play Outer Wilds, never spoil it for yourself. Just go in completely blind, and that's the best way to play that game. But the biggest problem with the ending portion, because I'm pretty sure this is the ending portion, is it is not a matter of, I don't know what to do here. It's a matter of, I am not good enough to do what has to be done. So I am quite literally stuck because I have a skill issue. But that's my own problem, and I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll play after stream, and maybe I'll get it. Your favorite games? What's a DM? Like, video games, and DM stands for Dungeon Master. It's the person who runs a Dungeons & Dragons game. Yeah, you can post more than one piece in the monthly challenges. You can post as many as you'd like. Just don't spam, please. But, like, I know some people who post, like, 2 or 3 per month. I try to choose, like, once, like, a person once per month. But, like, if you submit more than once, like, maybe a different streamer will pick up your work instead. I'm usually, like, that person is only allowed to be featured once a month for me. But, like, maybe the other streamers will nab you, your other work that you submit. Something with epicness. Yeah, man. You should try the monthly challenges. Why not? Genuinely, the worst thing that could happen is that you don't get picked. And that's, like, not that bad. I only did one piece because I got really excited. One piece? Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you could always do more than one if you'd like. I've already featured you though, so. Perhaps one of the other streamers will pick you up. Because this is day 2 of me streaming for this month. Day 3 is this coming Saturday, and then you're not going to see me again until September. So I have like the second half of August off, essentially, so... I know I'm a full name, but I think I love video games. Oh, okay, so my favorite games, as in, like, video games. Okay. I really love, like, anything that is Kirby related. I am a Kirby fiend. I really love the Beginner's Guide, made by the same person who did, the Stanley Parable. It's one of those games where if I am feeling stuck in life, I play it, because it's one of those games that really make you think about what it means to be a creative, and I really love that one. Any game that Annapurna Interactive, like, produces, that includes Outer Wilds, Stray, the cat game, Kentucky Route Zero, like, just trust them. You can pick any of them, and you're gonna have a good time. Stray is my personal favorite of that collection, very closely followed by, oh, do I like Kentucky or What Remains of Edith Finch more? You know what? I think that those two are equal for me, because I love them both a lot. Kentucky and What Remains of Edith Finch are both really good. I need to finish Outer Wilds before I can say where that ranks on the Annapurna production list, but, like, anything made by that studio, you can kind of guarantee, like, yeah, they're gonna be really good. Because they focus more... They produce games that are really short, but have really good stories. And, like, that's what I'm looking for. That's my vibe. We submit in the Art Challenges channel in the Discord, right? Yeah! Am I doing anything fun this August? Yeah, I'm traveling next week, so I'll be away from home for like a week. Noticing that you seem to like sad games. I just like games that can tell a story, and usually those stories tend to be sad. One of the games that I really liked that I played recently that was not sad was Smushy Come Home. I liked that one. That one was very cute. My partner bought it for me for my birthday, and I was like, "You bought me Smushy?" And I was like, I played that game so much. It was so cute. I like a lot of Pokemon games. What else? What else is up there? Oh, Eastward? Oh my lord, Eastward. Eastward is an amazing game. I still need to play that DLC though. Eastward is an RPG. So good. I can't recommend Eastward enough. I cried so hard. Also traveling. Woo! What's my birthday? June 20th. It's already passed. So I got Smushy a while ago. I played that a while ago. Eastward! Yes! Eastward! Eastward is so good, dude. I was obsessed with Eastward while I was playing it. Oh my god, what an amazing game. I can't recommend Eastward enough, dude. I love really good RPGs. Eastward is up there, Omori's up there, Undertale's a classic, of course. I haven't played all of Deltarune. I know I've played, like, Chapter 1, and then Chapter 2 came out way later, and I was like, I didn't have time to play it, but I know I need to. I love good RPGs. Celeste is a game that I know is known for being very difficult. And here is my problem, is I do not like games that are too difficult. So while I totally trust that Celeste's story is impeccable because it is an award-winning game, I can't play it. I'll watch somebody else play it, but I know I won't be able to, because I am not good at games. And I get frustrated really easily. There's a game called Owlboy. That one was also really good. I like that story a lot too. That game was almost too difficult for me. It's a bullet hell. For those who don't know what those games are, it's a platformer bullet hell. For those who don't know, it's essentially just like a 2D RPG like shooter essentially, and it is difficult. It was difficult for me, but like I looked it up and people were like, "Oh, it's actually not that bad," and I'm like, "But I struggled so hard. Bosses took me over an hour." when, like, Fear and Hunger, it's a very hard game. I don't like difficult games. I am, like... Toby Fox is... Bro, Toby Fox is the craziest underdog story. He went from creating just this funny little RPG, and then now he, like... He's a composer for Nintendo. Like, I think that that's awesome. He composed a couple of the battle themes for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and I think that that's awesome because you can tell which ones he made. Some of them are so like, oh, that's Toby. 100% that's Toby Fox. Cuphead, no. Cuphead is a rage game. I am not even gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. Love the art style, though. Cool stuff. Oh my god, I loved Ori! Ori was so fun. Ori and the Blind Forest was a great game. And then I played Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Both amazing. Yeah, I struggled a lot with Ori until I realized that what I had... So, I had unintentionally been playing that game on hard mode because I didn't realize that I could expand, like, my health. I also didn't realize that I could make my like attacks more powerful, and I could like upgrade my mana pool. These were things I didn't know. So I played maybe 3/4 of the game until I discovered, like, oh yeah, you know, you can like upgrade your like magic and you can upgrade your health. And I was like, wait, what? And then finally I looked on the map and I was like, that's what those are? So I spent like a little bit of time just upgrading everything, and then suddenly the game was so much easier because I had been playing in a way that was super difficult the whole time. So Ori was definitely really difficult in the beginning, and then it got really easy. But no, I liked Ori a lot. Those were some really good games. Treasure Adventure World? Had never heard of it. I played both the Ori games. Yeah, good time. Untitled Goose Game is amazing. That was so fun. Woo! Sketch finished. Good luck. Have fun. What I miss? I'm an hour late. No worries, Greenifer. We're just talking about video games. This is piece number 2. I've already finished one of them because limited color palette challenges are not difficult for me. So I'm like, I can do multiple pieces in one stream. That's not that difficult. So we're on piece number 2. I'm probably going to do a third one if we have time. Yeah, it's only 4, so we definitely got time. I might use a different palette as well, just to switch it up visually. Have I played Skylanders? I was the older sister that finished the video games for her younger siblings because they were too difficult for them. So I finished Giants for my brother, and then he played up to Swap Force, I think, and then he outgrew Skylanders. But yes, I have played some of the OG Skylanders games. Giants was easily my favorite. I think what happened was, like, the original one was pretty good, and then Giants was awesome, and then the game after that was just not as good, and then they just kept on getting worse, and we were both kind of like, I don't feel like playing these anymore. Because Giants was so good. Original Reignited Spyro, yeah. I am... Giants just holds so much nostalgia for me. Chaos was just kind of like, you know what? He is kind of a vibe as a villain. I was like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? He's funny. Skylanders was the game I always wanted when I was younger, but my brother was the only one allowed to play it. Do you play Cookie Run Kingdom? Because I love it. I don't play mobile games, so no. I also don't play gacha games because I don't trust myself with my own wallet. So I refuse to play that. Because gachas are just, like... I refuse to play them just for my own, like, bank account safety. Who's your favorite Skylander? Whirlwind. Whirlwind was one of my favorites. I loved Flashwing. I kept some of the Skylanders. They're up on my shelf. Hang on. Because some of them we gave to my cousins. I have Whirlwind, Flashwing, Sonic Boom, Cinder. 2 versions of Whirlwind up here, actually. Yeah. Flashwing was the one that I played as the most at first. And then I really liked Whirlwind. I loved the ones... Zap and Drobot. Drobot's cool. I love the ones that could fly. Because then you were not inhibited by, like, the cracks in the ground. So I was like, I gotta make sure all the people I play as can fly. Grew up with the older games. I got the GameCube, original Xbox, PlayStation 2, and Xbox 360. You're gonna feel old. My oldest console that I had as a kid... Oh, actually, maybe you're not gonna feel that old. My oldest console that I had as a kid was one of the Game Boys. I don't remember which one, though. I didn't have a GameCube. I would have been young enough to have a GameCube, but we didn't have that. I had a Game Boy. It was my dad's Game Boy. And I played some of the original Lego Star Wars on those. Those were my favorites. I loved those games. Hi, Microwave. I am also Gen Z. Yes. No sharing your age. I'm gonna say that right there. No sharing your exact age in the Discord. If you wanna, or in the chat. Yo, Kevin with the gifty. Let's go. Thanks so much for the gifted, bruh. You can do gifties on YouTube. You can do gifties on YouTube streams? That's so funny. When did they implement that? Apparently you can. That's so funny. That's hilarious. Can we get 5 gifted? That's so funny. I didn't know you could do gifties. That's hilarious. It's been here for a bit now? That's nuts. I don't know too much about YouTube streaming, despite me streaming on YouTube. I know a little bit more about Twitch streaming just because my partner streams on Twitch. No need for me to donate. Use some art skills, my friend. You can go and learn on your own. And then no need for handouts. Yes, I'm a YouTube streamer. No, I don't have a clue about YouTube streaming. Genuinely me. I'm like, I mean, I know how algorithm works. I don't know how streaming works. I know like the most basic stuff about YouTube streaming. I taught one of my friends a little bit about YouTube algorithm, but like that's about it. Had my first PlayStation as a kid because my dad wanted to buy one. You had the Pepsi Man game? That's awesome. How was it? I don't think I was alive during that era. I could be super wrong. I don't know when that came out, but as one does, yeah. She pushes the buttons that make her go live, and for that we're grateful. Yeah, that's all I know. I know where the go live button is, and I know how to upload videos. 99? I was not alive yet. So, yeah, was before my time. How was Pepsi Man? Was it a vibe? I only know the memes. Pepsi Man! It's so good. Yep, I was not alive yet. Never made it past one level where there's like a giant can rolling downhill because I was a kid with no motor skills yet, but I still like the game. That's so funny. It's genuinely so funny. That reminds me of when I played, oh, what was the game? It was a Spyro game when I was younger. I think it was like Spyro and the Dark Crystal, Spyro and the Dark something, Dark Moon? Spyro. Spyro and the something with a moon, something with Eternal Night. That's it. Spyro the Eternal Night. I was like googling it. I know what the cover looks like. I had Spyro the Eternal Night for the Nintendo DS, and those puzzles were too difficult for a little 7-year-old Jess. I couldn't figure out anything, and that was my. I cried when the CD stopped working. No. It's just called Spyro. There are different Spyro games, but no, I had Spyro and the Eternal Night, and I got really stuck at one of the puzzles. I had no clue what to do, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna drop it, because I don't know how to play this. Another one was Yoshi's Island for the DS. I really want to play that game now as an adult just to see if it was actually as difficult as I remember it being. Because once I hit World 3, I couldn't get past it. Those levels were too hard for me, and I was like, I can't figure this out. Don't say your age! Gen Z ends at 2010. Yeah, so Gen Z ends at 2010, and then after that it's Gen Alpha. That's what I've been told anyway. No sharing your age. No sharing your age. I am purposefully being vague about mine. You can be vague about your age, but no specifics. Like, I can say that I'm Gen Z, but you don't know what year. What are some of my childhood games? Kirby and so many Kirby games. Kirby Superstar Ultra was my first, though. And I played so much of that. I played the crap out of that game. That game was my everything. And then loved Kirby's Epic Yarn. I loved that game so much I bought the port to the 3DS and then also completed that. Like I've played a good chunk. Anything past Kirby Superstar Ultra, I've played almost every single mainline game. I missed out on the Rainbow Curse and I missed out on Squeak Squad, but I've played the rest. And like Kirby games are just such a vibe that I can't explain. I can't admit I'm a 3,000-year-old vampire. Oh, unfortunately, you're banned. I'm sorry. That's a joke. I think it's 2010. So many kids are saying they're Zalphas and the Microgen is 2010 to 2011 or 2012, I assume. Yeah, 2012. Yeah, I don't know. It's the same, like, dilemma between, like, millennial versus Gen Z, because some people are saying that, like, anything before 2000 is millennial, but like some people are saying 1990 something to like 2000 something is also still Gen Z. Some people call them cuspers. I don't know. It's some weird discourse that I don't care enough about. Cutoff is weird, yeah. Get my fill of Kirby from Failbo because I don't have a Switch. Bro, Kirby the Forgotten Lands is so good! I 100%'d that game. I played it so hard. I 100%'d that game. Oh my god. Love that one. Super, super good. Good as always. It's amazing. It's great. I love being like, I shared my screen once and I was like, look, see? It's like, it's super nice out here, and then suddenly we're in a, what was the level called? It was like, hang on. Kirby and Forgotten Land levels. Can I just have a list? It was the original Wasteland. Yeah, it's like you go from like the Winter Horns, where you get Northeast Frost Street, Metro on Ice, Windy, Freezing Seas, like stuff like that, and then you get to the next world, where it's called Original Wasteland, which, by the way, it's a dried up ocean, which is like, goes hard. And the first level is called The Wastes Where Life Began. And you're like, oh, okay. And that's a Kirby game for you. Yeah, no, Forgotten Lands is interesting because it's, you essentially travel the world with Kirby. Earth. You are on Earth because you're transported there, and you get to see what happened. Because it gives you more Kirby lore, because apparently humans are dead. And the reason we're dead is because of our own hubris, because we killed the environment. Yeah. Original Wasteland is an ocean that is dried up. And one of the spots that you can't touch on the ground is, oil spills. Yeah. It's very like, oh, I see. Yeah, Kirby boss is being hellspawned and Kirby's like, ha! Booyah! You know, it's great. No different for Kirby the Forgotten Lands, by the way. You fight, like an alien... You essentially fight an alien fetus. That's your final boss. Sorry, spoilers, but this game has been out for years. But no, it's a great final fight. They tried to contain this alien, and then they failed, and the alien made the environment turn on the people. That's essentially what happened. The lab rat, yeah. But no, he's like an alien, like, and it went so hard when he opens his eyes, and he's like, it's time for you to meet your end. And you're like, ah, ah! Simple, like, complex character. Kirby bosses are so good. It's Kirby Planet Robobot where you essentially have to kill God, and it's great. Planet Robobot is awesome. That one is about capitalism and how it ruins us all. And that's not a joke. Because what's happening is it's like the Kirby Planet Robobot, you have like... This game is old. This one is for the 3DS. And it starts with, like, you know, Kirby minding his own business, as all Kirby games do. And then slowly, like, technology starts falling from the sky and it destroys some of the wildlife. And it's because it's, like, a big company is like, oh, well, this place hasn't been, like, drained of its resources yet. So we gotta, like, get on that, you know? So you have to defeat the mega corporation, essentially. And they just want more and more power. So then at the end, like, one of the things that they did is they trapped God in a machine, essentially. And you have to kill the machine because you want to free the God, but the God is angry, so then you have to also kill the God before he destroys the universe. That's Kirby Planet Robobot. That is the genuine plot of that game. Favorite color to use for a background? It depends on the background. If I am just doing, like, a solid color, my choice is usually something like... It depends on the character, but my defaults tend to be, like, somewhere around, like, here-ish. Because I like that blue a lot. But I've been using a lot of orange lately. Sounds a bit like the second half of Mother 3. You're super right. I mean, it's all Nintendo. Mother 3 is also one of my favorite games ever, by the way. I love Mother 3. Favorite Kirby game is the painting game? Ooh. Is that the Rainbow Curse? That's one of the ones I haven't played. Is it a mainline or is it a spin-off? Kirby, Pikmin, Splatoon, Bug Fables. No clue about Bug Fables, but yes to the rest of them. Hollow Knight is so hard. I got stuck on literally the first boss. Yo, me too. I also got stuck on Hornet, and I have not been able to pass. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't picked up the game since. I've just been like, whoop, this game's a little too difficult for me. Woo! Coloring time! That's hype. An iPad, a tablet, one of those magic tablets. If you do exclamation point device Jessie, you can take a look at what my stuff is. Have a good one, Bread Panda. First boss is Hornet. I'm stuck on someone else completely. I think I went the wrong way then. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I remember Hornet being one of the first ones. To be fair, I haven't touched the game in a very long time. I very vaguely remember somebody else. Was it like a really big, chunky guy? Like, I very vaguely remember that. Never been good at coloring or color palettes. You're in luck. We've got a bunch of videos on that if you want to go check those out. False Knight? Is that what he's called? Whoa. Whoops. Yeah! No, never mind. I fought this guy. This guy, I beat this guy. He wasn't too bad. The False Knight isn't too bad. Hornet's rough, though. Chunky guy, I can't remember the name. Yeah, he's chunky. Okay, yeah, no, he wasn't too bad. Hornet's rough, though. I couldn't get a hit on Hornet. She is rough. And I'm like, you know what? Don't think I'm beating this anytime soon. But I know that Hollow Knight is, like, notoriously hard, right? Like, it is meant to be, like, a difficult game. Total Nightmare King Grim. Kiddo, I haven't touched that game in, like, 4 years. I don't think I'm getting there. I'll be 100% honest. I don't think we're getting there. Oops. We're just gonna do this because I'm feeling lazy right now. Modify, expand by 2. Woo. And then we just take this one. And we fill it in. Oh, these lines aren't closed yet. That's okay. We'll just fix that. Complete a ukulele in the impossible lair. That's hard, like the old Donkey Kong Country games. I have not played a single Donkey Kong Country. I believe you, though. Get good? I can't. I'm bad at games. I'm not good at video games. I do my best, but I'm not good at them. Oh, I forgot some lines down here. It should be down here. I haven't done a full weekend of streams in a while, no. It's been a long time. I haven't streamed in a while, period, honestly. What I'm just doing here is these are just shortcuts to make coloring a little bit easier. I'm kind of just separating the hair from the body, letting the selection do the work, so then I can color in some of the hair. Especially around here. So then I can do that. And then the double layer, and it looks pretty nice. I'll fix that area though, because that should not look like that. Cool. Oh, this is still undissolved. Let's fix that. There we go. If she's got her curriculum done for fall's classes, I guess we can let her nap. I have finished fall's curric. If Arunia doesn't have too much things for me to fix. I tried to make fall's curriculum fun, so I'm like, let's have some... For me, though, I guess challenging is fun, so, like, it's like 2 classes out of fall that are really easy, and then everything else is pretty complicated, but I'm like, that's fun, though. And it's not like they're, like, complicated in terms of, like, anatomy or anything. They're just concept work. So it's a lot of, like, concept art and stuff like that. And, like, yeah, technically it's complicated, but it's fun, you know? Let's use a different brush. Let's use this. A little bit better. So your curriculum is going to be cool, it sounds like. Let's go. What are your classes for a fall comic? No. I have digital art and I have mentorship. Mentorship is kind of like a plan as we go type deal, but comics, that comic class is specifically only for for the summer. So that will not be coming back until next year summer. I teach a digital illustration mentorship and a digital art level 2 class. So like the more advanced digital art class is what I teach. I believe it's Iggy that teaches digital art level 1. Yeah, I find comics and manga doesn't run well as a class personally, just because of like, whoops. Just because of like what's in the curriculum. It is built to be like a 2-week thing and nothing more. Because there's only so much you can do outside of those 2 weeks. So like the way that I wrote the curric is meant to be like 2 weeks and nothing more. What I'm doing right now is I'm coloring in some of the lines to make some of the body parts feel just slightly more organic. What it's doing is it's tricking the eyes a little bit into making this, like, tone feel a bit peachier. And that kind of gives just, like, the false idea of skin. Even though she doesn't really have skin, it's silicone. She's made of silicone and porcelain. But, like, it makes her feel a bit softer. You know, it makes her joints and her tone feel a bit softer by comparison to how harsh the turquoise is in some other areas. So it gives that kind of, like, illusion of color. It also helps differentiate from the hair as well. Yeah, it's not as drop-in friendly as our typical class structure. You can, but you should do the whole thing, yeah. Since she's critiqued my pond landscape, I've learned a lot since I'm remaking one of my paintings in proper perspective. Oh, it's you! Oh my goodness. I thought that was a different Ryan. No, I know you. I hope you're doing well. I'm like, since I critiqued her, who? Oh, yeah! Junior character design caught me off guard, but I really like it now. Yeah, she's meant to mimic a doll, so her proportions are intentionally meant to be a little wonky. Because she is, like, meant to mimic the proportions that are kind of crazy that a doll has. So yeah, no worries on that, because she is meant to be a bit jarring to look at. It's that kind of thing where, like, if you look at a doll and you look at the proportions of dolls, like, realistically, you're like, oh, these proportions are really wonky. But the longer you look at it, the less you think that. Because you're like, oh yeah, no, it's like she's weirdly beautiful. She's just thin. She's just tall. And it gives you that kind of weird sense of, like, she's almost meant to be a bit, oh, what's the term? Uncanny. She's meant to be a little bit uncanny. Again, that kind of energy of, like, yeah, it's like, I mean, her proportions are a little weird, but she's like a doll. It's that kind of, like, unrealistic body proportion that she's meant to be modeled after. She is meant to look unattainable. Like, she is built to look like you could never be her. I'm just gonna do some blush on the cheeks. In the pink. Get rid of a hair here. I don't want that selected. Cute! And it gives her a bit of blush on the face too. Uncanny Valley is super weird. It is, yeah. Don't tell Barbie that. Barbie has actually been getting really good with proportions. And that is specifically because Barbie has been very good at inclusivity as of late. Like, the models have changed, and the like, faces of Barbie have changed. Like, the way she looks now is way better than how she used to look, so I'll applaud Barbie and the company on that front. I actually don't like that. I thought I would. I don't. Okay, cool. Chalky milk. Don't make me remember. I don't want to remember. Bratz and Monster High dolls, though. Oh, no. The Bratz and Monster High have a long way to go. But Monster High doll sculpting is nice, though. I will say. The original gens of Monster High look good. There's like a skeleton girl, and her sculpt is awesome. I don't know what her name is, because I don't remember, but... As a kid with stuffed animals, I never had a Barbie... I'm gonna turn on my camera for a second, okay? Don't mind my hair looks terrible today. But, hang on. I want to make sure that I look kind of presentable. Okay, my hair looks terrible today, but, okay? You see? What do you mean had? I am her. I am the one with plushies. That is me. I am the one with plushies. Love that shirt. Thank you. I have been really into hippie fashion lately, so this is kind of the vibe that we're going with. I am the plushy one. It's a lot of Jigglypuff. I'll find you, Microwave. I'm kidding. That's a joke. Rumsey, hi. Am I viewed on Twitch? No. My partner's a Twitch streamer. I am not the Twitch. It's like I am on YouTube, they're on Twitch. Can't see right now, yeah, because I turned it back to my screen. Don't look at me. We're done. We're done perceiving me. I am no longer being perceived. I'm just gonna shrink this down a little bit. There we go. You were on Twitch that one time for a bit of charity. That's true. I was on Twitch for charity. I'm on my partner's stream sometimes. So I guess I am on Twitch, actually, sometimes. I was on Twitch yesterday, actually, so I guess I am on Twitch sometimes. Would it be worth upgrading to a tablet with a screen for better pen sensitivity? If you are thinking of doing, like, digital art, like, professionally, then yes. Screen tablets are way better than, like, non-screen tablets, but, like, some, like, artists prefer the non-screen tablets. Like, it is, at the end of the day, it is up to, like, personal preference. Like, it's not a matter of, like, oh, what's better? It's a matter of what you prefer, and some people do end up preferring, like... Some people do end up just preferring, like, the, what do you call it? The non-screen tablet, and, like, that's okay. I have a friend who really likes the non-screen tablet, and, like, that's his choice, man. Do we like the gradient? Yes or no? What if I made it into, like, clouds? If I made it, like, kind of puffy. Like that. Oh, that's actually kind of cute. Do we like this? Or do we think it's too much? I'm just trying to see if I can, like, add other texture or other things that make this a bit different than the first one. Do we like this? Do you think this is cute? Yeah? My budget demands that I prefer a non-screen. Hey man, my Cintiq was $300 when they're normally $1,500. If you get a used tablet, they are super cheap. Like, relatively cheap than if you got them new. Yeah, do we like this? We like this? Okay, I'll keep this. It's kind of giving, like a Tumblr background. This is giving Tumblr edit. You know what? I like it. We're gonna do some effects, too. Let's copy this. We're gonna go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Watch this. We're gonna have that real blurred out. We're gonna lower that opacity, and it gives us that kind of nice, dreamy effect. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Yippee! It feels like a Sailor Moon edit. Used. Yeah. A used tablet. I put stickers on the edge of my drawing tablet. My tablet has sticky notes that remind me what I can do in D&D. My current sticky notes say I have an initiative. I have an extra initiative D8 once per long rest, or once per dawn. My axe is a 1d12 plus 8 plus an additional 2d6. And then they have to make a dex save for an additional 4d8. Both a 20 and a 19 crit with the axe. And then for my other campaign, I get a 1d6 plus my wisdom modifier for Pokemon skill dice. I have, like, different sticky notes reminding me, it's like, hey, you have these abilities, just letting you know. Gotta use iPad Pro for $300. There you go, yeah. What do you mean by mixing elements? I'm struggling with mixing elements with blue and purple at the same drawing. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm sorry. Great deals to start the tablets. Oh yeah, yeah. Tablets can be pretty cheap nowadays. Okay, we're gonna do a nice and easy one for the last one. Aren't these fun? Whoa! Yeah, you see, limited palette challenges are not that difficult for me. We'll do one more. We'll actually do corn, because corn doesn't fit within this palette that much. So we're actually gonna have to work in a funkier way. It'll be very quick, because I've only got 20 minutes left, but that shouldn't take me. Corn is very easy to draw. I don't have a lot too bad. I don't have a rough time drawing him. I'm actually not gonna switch palettes. We're gonna stick to this one, but I'm gonna use it in a different way. So I can show you guys what I mean by just, like, value organizing, because Corn is a black dragonborn, so obviously I can't use, like, some of the lighter colors for him, because it just doesn't make sense. It's a very cornless palette. I don't get it, I'm sorry. Hello. Blending colors, what I mean. You're having trouble blending blue and purple? They're right next to each other on the color wheel. Blue. Let's just get a blue. Blue. Purple. This is the kind of in-between. Oh, I have this all turned on, that's why. Hello? Listen to me, please. Thank you. Blend. To color. Easy peasy. I'm just not too sure what you're asking. I apologize. I don't know how to help you if I don't know what you're asking. Yippee! Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Corin, child. Thank you, Kevin, for the gifty. Whoop, Lycan, you're a member now. How's it feel? Hello, Alec. Hi, Joe. How are you doing? I wanted to go to someone here, not someone who left. The fact that I was even thinking about buying membership. There you go. Now you have like a trial for like a month. That's how long gifties last. So you have like a month until this runs out, essentially. So now you can see how you like it. You have access to the fun little channels on Discord that you didn't have before. You can see new things. Pretty crazy. Yeah, that's what membership gets you, chat, is you can talk to me more frequently. Use our cool emojis, which, by the way, I can't even use. It's locked for mods. That's so funny. Wait, really? Oh, no. So you actually have to buy yourself a membership if you want to use the emojis. I think that's how subs work on Twitch, too, though. Like, even if you're a VIP or a mod, if you're not subscribed, you can't use the emotes. We are going to work subtractively with Corn. And what that means is I'm actually going to, like, color him in completely, and then we're going to work backwards. So, Corn specifically, I need to use the darkest value for all of him. So he's getting, like, this, and then I'm going to work subtractively, where I'm just going to carve out parts of his body using lighter values. And I've drawn Corn so many times that I can just do this without the sketch. Probably. That's gonna be a challenge too. We're gonna see how well I can do this without the sketch to guide me as well. Which, by the way, will probably not be very long because I might need the sketch. Yeah, as soon as you're linked with the Discord account, you should be good to go. And you have access to the cool membership channels. So Corn is actually also going to be a lineless challenge. and singular layer challenge, so that's gonna be fun. Ugh. Not sarcasm, by the way. I find stuff like this fun. Amumu they them pog. Corn grabbing the camera and telling Jessie how to make this harder for herself. This is just a Corn jump scare. Corn would like show up and be like, "What are you looking at?" And then be like, you try to "Why are you looking off into the distance? Nothing's there." You know? I'm not confident in Lani's voice, but I am confident in Corn's voice. I can do his off the top of my head easily. Yeah, and then like this would go like here-ish, right? Yeah. I can't tell you how much I love the Corn voice. I'm glad you do. It's very fun to do. I think I'm pretty okay at a little boy's voice. It's one of those things where it's like, I was like, I don't even know if I can do this voice yet. Oh well, I guess we'll figure it out. And then turns out I was actually pretty good at keeping it consistent. I'm like, okay. I'm like, alright, alright. NB's in chat, rise up. You are loved. You are appreciated. Gender affirmation carry. Yeah, man! Listen, bro. Listen, gender? Social construct. Who cares, man? We are alive, and that's all that matters, really. You are here. You are alive, and you are here. And with that, that is whatever identity you go by, whatever makes you feel more like you're here, that's all that matters, bro. People is people. Yeah, man. Hello? Let me select, please. There we go. What's the personality of Corn, if you can describe it? Corn is a little boy. Corn is boisterous. He's athletic. He's not the smartest. He does his best, though. He's kind. He just tries. He likes going on adventures. He's kind of new to a lot of things, so he's sort of just also trying things out. Loves to eat. Bro is a fiend for consumption. Yeah, he's very sweet. He's not the smartest. One of my favorite lines that I've ever done as Corn. We went to like a steakhouse in campaign. Like we went to like a really fancy restaurant. And Corn's dad is a chef. Pierce is a chef. So Pierce was like, hey, just make sure that you don't order your steak as well done. And Corn was like, but I want it well done. Why wouldn't I ask for it to be well done? Like, what? He doesn't know, right? Woo! I kicked my tablet. That's my bad, y'all. No, that was funny. I like that one. But I want it well done. Why wouldn't I? What? Chat probably knows more about Corn than most of her table mates. No, we're at the end of the campaign, so chat knows the exact same amount that my table mates do. My table mates know more about Corn than you guys do. Easily. Because I talk about Corn all the time, and I love drawing Corn. Corn is my trans lizard. My FTM lizard. Why'd you name him Corn? I answered that yesterday. I had a vision in my brain, and they were like, you're gonna name him Corn. The voices that be told me that I was gonna name him Corn, and I'm like, why? And they're like, his last name's gonna be Chip too. And I was like, why? And the voices that be told me it's because I'm gonna base his design off of the meme that goes, I would sell your soul for one corn chip. So Corn's entire design is based off of a magpie. This is not a joke. That is a genuine answer. Yeah, Corn's trans. That was a really funny episode too, because like session when it was revealed that Corn was trans, because it was like I had been talking in the Corn voice the whole time, but when Corn is tired, he doesn't like that is also a voice he's putting on. So, like, this is, like, his boy voice, but, like, if he doesn't have the energy, then he sounds like this instead, right? And it's it's meant to kind of sound like a voice that he is doing to sound more mask. And the first time that I dropped the voice, people were like, oh, Jess is just tired. But then midway through the session, I was like, I was sending to one of the people back at the village, and Corn was like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put on the voice. And the other members were like, is this not your voice that you have all the time? And Corn was like, oh, no, sorry, sometimes I forget, like, but I drop the voice around family most of the time. So then Corn had to explain himself, and they were like, Corn, are you a boy? And he goes, yeah, of course. He's like, I've always been a boy. He didn't understand the concept of being trans. He's just always been like, no, I am a dude. It's like, people just kind of get it mixed up sometimes. When I was younger, they used to call me a girl for some reason, but like, I didn't get that. So like, I've always been a dude. Like, I've never been anything else. But like, other people around me would call me a dude sometimes, and like, I'd have to correct them. Like, no. Or they'd call me a girl sometimes, and I'm like, I never understood why, but I guess here we are. And that was the reveal, and it was so funny, because it kind of clicked for each person one at a time, and they were like, oh! Which was really funny. Supportive parents, of course! Okay, parents number 1, Corn didn't know he was trans. Parents number 2, because he didn't have a personality, it wasn't him. Parents number 2, yes, were super supportive, and then current parent Pierce 100% is super supportive. Yeah. Of the parents he has had while he was Corn, yes, they have all been very, very supportive of him. I specifically wrote it into his backstory that his father was very his father number 2 was very defensive about Corn's identity. Yeah, I love playing a variety of genders with my characters. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, Nightjar uses neo pronouns. Nightjar is they, it. So that'll be fun to play as well. I've played several non-binary characters. Strider and Rye are 2 of my non-binary characters. Strider goes by any pronouns at all, because they're like, you don't call the earth any pronouns, so why would you call me by anything? Because they find it interesting when other people see them as something different. And Rai is adamantly they, them. Rai is very, like, do not refer to me kind of character. I'll show you both of them as well. We're 5 o'clock, but it's okay. I'll keep talking about this for a second. Strider is any pronouns at all. I would usually say, like, they, but, like, the other characters might say he, other characters might say she, you know, it's whatever, because Strider doesn't care. They find it fascinating when, like, other people see them as something else. Yeah, 5 o'clock's 5 o'clock. I'll go over by, like, 5 minutes, who cares? And then Rai. Strider is a centaur monk, by the way, if you wanted to know. Cobalt soul monk. Rai is strictly they, them. They're my artificer. My artificer water genasi. But yeah. Rai is mean. Rai's a bit mean, but that's okay. Strider's very excited, very loves to explore kind of character, very happy to meet people, do new things. Those gloves. Oh yes, Rai, when I was designing them, I wanted them to look like a Splatoon character. That was my whole thing with Rai. I was like, I want you to look like you came straight from Splatoon. Love Rai's colors. Yeah! Oh, corn trans flag blanket all cuddled up now. Too late! I've already done it. Here, I'll find that piece. Yeah, man. This is Neptune. Neptune would have been the other character that would have been drawn yesterday. Neptune is part of my Pokemon campaign. She is cisgender, but she is arrow-based. So she doesn't want anything to do with people. She does not like people. Neptune didn't make it. No, I draw her all the time. I love drawing Neptune. She's so fun. She's my most fashionable character, so Neptune is a lot of fun to draw. She's probably glad she didn't make it though. Oh no, yeah, Neptune does not want to be perceived ever. She's like, no, get me out of these crowds. I don't want to deal with these people. Hooray for Pride! Hooray for Pride! Yippee! Hooray! Yeah, I think character diversity is really important. I never want two of my characters to be exactly the same. I don't even like them when they're- I don't even like it when two of my characters are similar. I had a lesbian tiefling that I was gonna play a while ago. Her name was Arrow. She was gonna be very, Chrissy Shalapika, if you know who that is. Very girly, very prissy, like a nepotism baby kind of character. She was a warlock. She was gonna have, but she was gonna be like, I was gonna flavor her to be mostly summoning, like a summoning warlock, and like all of her summons were gonna be gross and terrifying and disgusting, but she specifically was going to be like very pretty. Here, I've shown this before. All my characters look very different. I don't like it when two of my characters look the same. So there's Lani. Lani is there. This is Cliff. Cliff was he was a paladin. He was a satyr paladin. And then of course Strider. And then Rai is here. This is Scuttle. Scuttle is a goblin sorcerer. And then Corrin, of course. This is Kingsley. Kingsley is my human warlock. And then this is Arrow. Right? I don't want two of my characters to look the same. I don't want them to be the same gender. I don't want them to be the same race. I don't want them to be the same anything. Because I'm like, I want, like, again, like, the only double up that I have is Kingsley and Arrow as warlocks, but then everybody else is, like, totally different. And that's how I want it. I'm like, I don't want... I think it's boring if you play the same thing over and over. Like, it's fine to have, like, a main. Like, I love playing a barbarian. It's been my favorite class so far. But I want to try new things. And I think that a good cast of characters should be pretty different from one another. Scuttle's amazing. Scuttle, I had a lot... I actually didn't like playing Scuttle that much. Scuttle's funny. I didn't like playing him that much. Because honestly, I didn't really like playing a sorcerer that much. I'm not a big spellcaster person, which is funny that I'm playing a bard next. But I much prefer... martial or half-casters. Like, I like the no-thinkiness of playing something like a barbarian, because Corrin is just the tank, so I'm like, great, I do a lot of hits. I hit really hard because I'm also, like, partially a DPS, but I also, like, don't have to worry about taking hits because that's kind of just what I'm supposed to do. Bye, Ryan. Have a good one. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just finishing up this Lani in the back. I was a little bit surprised about Corn showing up, but... and then we'll call it. I apologize, we're running just a smidge long. That's okay. I did 3 pieces. Love this Corn pose. No, he's silly. Corn is silly. There he is. Yippee hooray! And you see the difference between working with, like, the different, like, Echelon ones where it's very line art heavy versus Corn, who is, you know, a very dark value. So I kind of just have to work backwards by comparison to Lani, where I can work the more traditional way of going, like, okay, this is the darkest one, so I can just use that as the outline, right? I don't have that choice with Corn because all the rest of the hues are very, very light. So I'm like, okay, how can I work with this instead? We're going to work backwards. We're going to have the darkest value be our main color, and then we're going to work almost linelessly in a way. All right? And then even with the sketch, I did it pretty good without looking at the sketch, huh? I draw Corn so much. I didn't need the sketch at all. I was like, yep, silhouette, that's enough. Don't need the sketch at all. Cool beans! Let's just add a little bit of funkiness to the background here. Let's do the little clouds again, because I kind of like that. That was fun. And we'll just remove them from Lani. Da-da-da. I'll just use this brush, sure. This palette is fun. It is a very fun palette. I do like it. I think it's great. Even though I wish the other one won, this is still a good palette. Like, I didn't mind doing any of the palettes. Alright, though. That's a little over 5, I apologize, but that is a little bit over 5. Thank you all so much for joining me today. You got to see me do 3 pieces. Isn't that pretty epic? But, hey, if you're new here, welcome. Hello. wingcanvas.com. Check out the classes that we offer, wingcanvas.com. Fall classes showing up. Yippee hooray! So, be on the lookout for those. I believe you can sign up with some, getting them a little bit cheaper using code EARLYNERD. So, hey, those are coming up in September, so be sure to check those out once those are coming out. All 3 of these lovely things that I worked on for you today will be available for you in the Discord, !Discord. Come pop in over there, come and see what the hip hop is about. Pretty cool, pretty epic. If you're a member, by the way, Patreon or a YouTube member, pop in onto the Discord. Cool exclusive chats, probably going to talk to me more frequently. And you're gonna, you know, if you're high enough tier, you'll also get to actually talk to me in a Discord call sometimes. Or the other instructors. Once a month, we host critique sessions. Pretty cool, pretty epic. Come pop into those. Y'all, it is the 3-day Jessie streak, so you get me again this Saturday. We are going to be doing a style study with Hikari Shimoda. We'll be focusing on that. Pretty cool, pretty epic. You guys get to see me work with that this coming Saturday. And then on Sunday, I believe you guys get Iggy. Iggy, who is going to be working on an emotional background that Sunday as well. So, cool and epic. Hope you have a good time with that. But alright. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I'll see y'all this Saturday. Au revoir. Bye-bye.